action because Putin and KGB in Russia, they are adamant that we are the people responsible for that revolution. And because of that, they deported me from Russia, canceled my visa. They just arrested the bishop of our ministry last month in Russia, closed down our Bible school there, and they just deported my pastor from Russia.
Welcome to the moment of truth. In this video, we will be discussing who is Sunday Adelaja or Sunday Adelaja you do not know. If you are new to the internet, stay tuned till the end. You will see a pathological liar.
We were having so much influence in Ukraine that is spilled over to Russia, so much that we were having hundreds of churches in Russia itself. And his argument was that I was bringing Western theology, Western kind of worldview. And when you make people...
The last video was 2022. You see this one in 2008.
And KGB in Russia, they are adamant that we are the people responsible for that revolution. And because of that, they deported me from Russia, canceled my visa. They just arrested the bishop of our ministry last month in Russia, closed down our Bible school there, and they just deported my pastor from Russia, from Moscow.
So how can he have 100 churches in Russia alone?
He banned me from coming to Russia. And the reason for that was because we were having so much influence in Ukraine that is spilled over to Russia, so much that we were having hundreds of churches in Russia itself. And his argument was that I was bringing Western theology, Western kind of worldview. And when you make people free...
The next video is 2016. DSA claimed he had 2,700 branches.
But the reason why I said this is because I personally am a pastor. And even though I'm not acting like a pastor so as such on Facebook, but I have a congregation. I've planted over 2,700 churches in my lifetime. And not just me, this is our church, Embassy of God. And we have many branches, many churches. I'm a pastor.
You see, we are in trouble with DSA. And that's why God will never allow you to have a rest.
And personally, I have invested 36 years of my life building people up, spreading the kingdom, and trying to train people to be God carriers and kingdom imposers. So when this started, of course, it's a shock and surprising that we couldn't even live with anything. We have to leave everything behind. And when I made a previous video and I said I left everything behind, those are the things I left behind in the natural, material things. Church, building, over 700 churches in the country.
This is also in 2022. You just heard the lies of Sunday Adelaja. He had 100 churches in Russia. You and I know that will never and never be possible in Russia. Putin does not have time for any nonsense. You cannot fake Putin. Even the world leaders, they are scared of Vladimir Putin. Talk less of one rat from one village, one non-entity. We go to Russia and mess about. He's lying. He wanted to use Ukrainian war to raise money. The lie he told the second time in that second video was to raise money. He was going around telling all those lies. And that's why Ukrainians washed their hands off him, rejected him completely. This fake Jesus is in prison in Russia. In prison. And Putin is not ready to let him out any minute, anytime soon. Sunday Adelaja is one of the reasons why Putin was fighting Russia. Because when Sunday Adelaja nearly crippled Ukrainian economy, he was wondering why the judge took bribe from him and they put him under house arrest instead of putting him in prison. That's why he wanted to take over. It's one of the reasons. He said they cannot manage Ukraine. He wanted to take over. Stay tuned, my people. See how the president received him there. He stole from them. He ruined all his chances.
Boa noite a todos.
How are you all doing today?
Como vocês estão hoje?
All right. Before we start, I would like to say I'm not here by myself. I'm not here alone.
Antes de nós começarmos, eu quero dizer que eu não estou aqui sozinho.
Can you make my voice a bit lower?
Você pode diminuir um pouco o meu microfone?
Yeah, just make it a bit lower. I'm going to get loud, don't worry.
Pode diminuir um pouco porque eu vou aumentar sozinho a minha voz.
I have people coming with me from 3 or 4 different countries.
Eu tenho pessoas que vieram comigo de diferentes países.
They've been here before me. I'm just flying in.
Eles já vieram antes de mim, chegaram antes de mim. Eu acabei de chegar no Brasil.
But most importantly, I'm here with my wife.
Mas mais importante de tudo, eu vim com minha esposa.
And the whole team from Ukraine, Russia, England.
E todo o time da Ucrânia, Rússia, Inglaterra.
So let's welcome all of them. Princess, I call my wife Princess. Will you come?
Eu gostaria de pedir a minha princesa, eu chamo a minha mulher de minha princesa.
And all our team.
Vem aqui todo o meu time também, vem aqui na frente da Ucrânia.
Russia, come on.
Rússia, vem aqui.
Se paraidite suda pobisre ismele. Miss Toni, all of you, come on here.
I didn't want to come out, but he mentioned my name.
Yeah. Okay, yep. We are going to take Adonep to all the countries. We are going to take Adonep to all the countries where we have churches. We have them in 50 countries.
Nós vamos levar a Donep em todos os lugares.
That's a lie, oh. You heard another lie, oh. If I didn't pay for his ticket, £10,000, and my friend Clayton pay for his wife's ticket, also £10,000, he will never get to what's it called? To Brazil. And he lied to me. He said it was a business gathering. He lured me there. That's what DSA is doing. The next one is how he's trying to do people through real estate in Ukraine, lie to them that he's the one that empowered these people that own these estates from his church.
From poverty and from the street to becoming multimillionaires and industrialists. This complex here, this is a whole estate. This is a whole complete estate, more like what they call what do they call that estate in Nigeria? Eco-Atlantic, or there's another, VGC, Banana Island. This is like a Banana Island Eco-Atlantic complex. And there's one that somebody came from England was building. No, a new one. Okay, don't worry. So Eme something. Eme Estate? Is it Eme Estate? Yeah. Eme Estate. This is like somewhere Eme Estate in Nigeria. So this is somebody, a member of the church, husband and wife, that came to church. They were actually working for me. They were selling my books at first. Then later on, but before then, they couldn't even eat bread. They couldn't afford 3 square meals. They were in such bad poverty that they were, they couldn't even afford. They were so poor. They were working as taxi drivers, and then they couldn't drop that. These people came from nothing, and they started this thing about 5 years ago. I mean, they were in such a minus, what I was talking is that, and we have 200 people like this that were raised up in 3 years. These people started from nothing. You've heard about the Club 1000 that I spoke about, and this is one of them. I have not done this before. I've never even come here before, even though they are members of Nigeria. I'm coming here for the first time to just see. It just came to my mind because somebody was saying he's talking about raising up millionaires and multimillionaires. Where are they?
Because I was not interested in showing you what, other people are doing. I want to show you what you can do. That is why
Now, you just heard him because people challenged him after he had duped thousands of people through lying to them that he raised 2,000 millionaires in Ukraine. People challenged. You heard him. That's why he took them to this estate, gigantic estate that probably belongs to the government, and he lied that they were people from his church. It's a lie. Oh. You see Anu Ojo there. You see Galina there. You see people from his church, from his scammy group. You see all of them there. So, my people, this is what DSA is doing. Oh. That's why it's on the floor. Oh. He will say to people that they should give him money. He has business. People will trust him, and that's how the money will go. Boom! You won't see the money again. Stay tuned. The next video is BBC documentary exposing DSA and his fake church and his courts. Stay tuned.
Thousands, a charismatic Nigerian leader, and is planning to spend millions on a new headquarters. But the Embassy of God Church isn't in Africa, or indeed in the Bible Belt of the USA. It's in Ukraine. The Ukrainian Orthodox Church says it's brainwashing people, and those in charge are more interested in power than religion, a claim denied by the Embassy of God. The BBC's Helen Fawkes reports.
DSA always in denial, but now we all can see everything everybody is saying about him. Stay with me.
The Embassy of God is sweeping.
See? Can you see?
So they said, in today's video, I would like to introduce a conversation with one lady who saw my previous video on the issue of death of some ministers and gave me a call. That's death. She was concerned about the events that happened lately. So she decided to openly share about certain... This lady's name is Svetna. She was actively participating in the growth and development of God Embassy Church in Ukraine. And she's one of the 35 women everyone's been talking about. Did you hear that? She's one. Some people say they are non-existent. Others wonder why they are not revealing themselves. You might have heard some of these guesses. These women have been through a really difficult time. And on top of that, they have listened to all this negative talk about them, which is unbearable to hear, especially from so-called brothers and sisters. But I believe this interview from Scribner directly from one of these 35 women. She's calling now. Are you there, Svetlana? Yes, I am. Good evening. Please tell us how long you have been a part of Embassy of God. 15 years. 15 years. Could you please tell us how long you've known about this issue on the part of Sunday Adelaja? What issues do you mean, Rivka? I mean the issues of sexual harassment or sexual seduction, or what everybody's been talking about. I mean the sexual relationships that were there. It's been since the year 2013. Can you tell us details how this was happening? Now, for the sake of discussion, but to the plot of the enemy, the devil's tactics. As far as I can guess, there must have been a certain teaching involved so that women would trust the pastor's authorities and look up to him as a man of God, right? Of course. In the first place, there's substantial teaching on father-son relationships.
His hands to destroy whatever he had built. So this is the part that is hidden from most people, and that's why the likes of Solomon and there's another vlogger I'm going to put out there. They want to give you this impression that, well, Adelaja was this very great man in Ukraine, and he's still that great man in Ukraine who has had to leave his church. Oh, the millions of members, thousands. You hear Adelaja say something like that. He had to leave all the glory of these things because of the war. That is the deception we should not allow to be sold to the public. It's very important. It's very important we empathize, sympathize report about Adelaja, and I want you to see how big indeed his ministry was. Let me say this, there's a subtle misleading information here, and then you're going to see why vloggers are trending with this information. So this is what we're actually dealing with, and I want Solomon to appreciate that. Is the deception. We're not saying don't sympathize with him, but it is how he takes advantage of situations and also lies about it and deceives the public with it. So listen to what he's going to say here. You know, yes, we should empathize with him, but look, just listen. I would like to draw some things to your attention. Listen. This was when he had left Ukraine, and he was just speaking about their circumstance at the time.
My name is Sunday Adelaja. I'm a pastor the pastor and the founder of a church that is called the Embassy of God Church here in Kyiv, Ukraine. I've been in this country for the past. Just living is leaving your whole life behind. You know, it's just like taking myself, my shell, my body out. But my whole life endeavor, my whole life achievement, my whole work, that everything that I've built all these years, building the largest country, the largest church in the country. Not just member, I left all my members behind. The church building that is costing millions. Many church buildings. My own house that is also, you know, I mean, all by my clothes.
Did you see the deception there? Many church buildings costing millions, leaving my members. So Adelaja still wants to give you the impression that Adelaja you saw in that video is the Adelaja speaking. The end goal is this. And you're going to see the deception in it. So when vloggers hear this and they watch those kind of videos of the past, what they're going to start.
Thank you, my people. What else can I say? You heard it from everywhere. BBC News, UK advertised his case when he lost his battle with Ukrainians. He's banned in the UK, he's banned in the USA. All the Westerners ban DSA. See you on my next video. Bye for now.